Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Bitches Be Trippin'. I'm going to show you another Ishtar guide. So, the last Ishtar guide that I upgraded, or that I uploaded, um, was, like, it works, right? It works. It's a little bit more pricey than the one I have now, and if a infested carrier comes in, or like a dreadnought or whatever, I don't know about the dreadnought, you might be able to survive the dreadnought, but definitely not the carrier. Alright, I learned that the hard way. The carrier comes in, and you have like 7 seconds to get off the field before it like two-shots you. Alright, so definitely not a good fit if you're running high level sites like the patrols or the hordes, havens, whatever they have in blood space, and whatever they have in the other one there. I forget what the fuck it is. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. So this fit I'm about to show you here. Let's go ahead, pull this up. This fit, you can run anything. I'm even gonna attempt running 10 out of 10s with it later on. So let's see here. And I have run 10 out of 10s in a fit similar to this, but it's a little more difficult than running it in a rattlesnake. But still, I mean, if you have the hacker card and you can take the shortcut, which I can, then yeah, easy peasy, you know? You just gotta watch out for the third room in where all the cruisers and frigates and all that crap is, because that's the only part where you might have to warp off, because the damage can get pretty intense. So, as you can see here, this is not my 10 out of 10 fit, so do not use this for 10 out of 10, you'll probably die. There's just not enough tank. My 10 out of 10 fit, I switch out one of these bottom slots here for, what is it? Let's see here. There, I'll just show you guys real quick. So, set filter slot. Okay, so 10 out of 10 slot, you definitely want to run a Sentient damage. You want to take one of these Sentient drone damage amplifiers off, right? So you take one of those off, so I'll just simulate, take one of these off. Yeah, I might as well show you guys a 10 out of 10 fit at the same time here. So for the 10 out of 10 fit, you want to take that off, you switch that out for Sentient damage control. Sentient damage control. Come on. What? This module does not. Wait a second, what? Yeah, you should be able to fit that. What the fuck? It's not letting me fit the damage control tech 2 either. What's going on here? Exit simulation. Why? Shield module fit to an armor. Yeah. Get that, but why can't you put the Sentient damage control on? Why can't I put that on? Item was added to an old. What? Alright, hold on, guys. I gotta figure this out. Okay, pop up the warning again because I didn't get to read it. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, anyway. For some reason it's not letting me put it in there, but you get the picture. So, Sentient damage control, and then you want the right here. You want the Type D restrained shield flux coil. Alright, put that in. We got a Newton system, so I'm gonna have to wait till he leaves before I go out and show you guys this fit. And yeah. Anyway, it's a weird little bug that I happen to come across there. Not letting me put shit in my build, but whatever. No idea what the hell's going on there. Let's see, can I drop that in there? No, so it's not letting me do any of these. Alright. Very interesting. Alright, aside from that, you've got your Salvager 1s up in the top slots, so this is just your regular horde and patrol running build. So, yeah, Salvager 1s, top slots, EM Ward 2, or whatever you need for the rats in your space. Probably still better to put an EM ward just because that's like the biggest hole. Like if I take that out or shut it off here, you'll see you only have 13%. So you definitely want to have that on. Unless you're in like Garissa, you know, like whatever other space, you just, yeah. Basically, if you're in Garissa space, you want to put up your thermal, right? Thermal resistance, that'll give you like ridiculous tank. It'll be probably close to 80% across the board, so this build is ridiculously good in Garissa space. But yeah, in drone space, definitely want to get that, you know, boost that EM, because it's basically, the hell you call it there, omni damage, right? It's damage across the board. So definitely want to get that up, and then you want to have buffer, right? So the last fit that I had, the problem was there wasn't enough buffer. So I was getting two-shot by the carrier when the carrier spawned in, which was, you know, really rare, but still. So yeah, you got that. Then in order to get that buffer, you want to have these two large Republic Fleet shield extenders. Want two of those, and you're gonna have, right, regeneration. So it's not like you're just sitting out there with buffer and nothing else. You're gonna have some regeneration, so it's gonna keep you alive as long as you're moving up at the correct speeds. You want core C-type, 100 MN afterburner. That's gonna give you an extra 150 on top of the Tech 2, which is definitely gonna help when you're orbiting stuff at 5 grand, right? It's gonna give you an extra 50, which is the difference between getting hit by the battleships and not getting hit by the battleships. So you definitely want that. Then you want 4 Sentient drone damage amplifiers. Now the Sentient drone damage amplifiers I use because I'm out here. I think it's the only other type that you can have. Oh, okay, so no, I'm wrong. So there's Imperial, you know, oh, there's even Dread damage. So yeah, if you're in Garissa space, definitely go with the Dreads instead. I think the Sentient has the highest damage output though, but still. You want to take the faction that's in your area. It's going to be the cheapest and easiest to get a hold of, right? And then you want your Sentient. Then again, if you're in different space, you want to use different faction modules, whatever's the easiest to get. Sentient omnidirectional tracking enhancer, and then you can run just Tech 2 for this fit, for the damage control 2. If you want to run Sentient, that's fine. It's just going to give you more survivability. You don't really need it though. And then in the rigs, you're gonna have medium core defense field purchase 2, right? You get that up there, and that's gonna give you, it's gonna jump you up like pretty high. Like if you shut these off, right, you only get 23. Boom, turn them on, you're doubling your regeneration, so that's pretty good. Same with this, your speed. You know, you got 1193. Take that off, you're gonna have, you know, 218, right? If you have to, you can overheat this, and you can, you know, almost double. Give yourself an extra 50% speed. Like let's say a carrier comes in, and you know you got quick fingers. You want to cycle that off, definitely. So yeah. So anyway, if a carrier comes in, you got 30 seconds to get off the field with this fit. With the other fit that I was using before, you only had 7 seconds, right? So this gives you, you know, an extra 400 or 500% boost on the time that you have to get off the field. So if you're not paying attention like I was, you might actually survive. Anyway, yeah, so you definitely want to cycle that off when the carrier drops in. If you whenever you notice the carrier, whether you have 50% shields, because that's when I have my alarm set. So when you hit 50% shields, the alarm sounds and you know there's a carrier, right? Because normally you'll never go below 60% shields. All right. Very rarely will you ever dip even close to 50%. Unless a carrier spawns, then definitely you're going to drop below 50% and you need to get off the field because you only have about 20 seconds by the point you hit 50% shields, right? So, yeah, so cycle this off, then align to the Fortizar, whatever structure you want to align to, and then recolor your drones. As soon as your drones get into your hull of your ship, you should be fully aligned. Then you just hit the warp button and you're instant warp, right? So it should take you about 5-6 seconds to get off the field by the time you decide to recall your drones. Okay, so then you have your Yeah, so completely cap stable until you turn these on, right? But you only want to use these when you've got a sentient spawn, unless you're hyper looting the site, right? Like you're salvaging the site as you're ratting, which with this fit in a horde, probably not the best idea because you're gonna have to follow your MTU at a pretty close distance of 1,000 kilometers, and you're not going to be getting to that speed that you want to be at. But in a patrol, the patrol does a lot less damage, so you might be able to get away with it. And I've done it before, but you do dip into the 40-30% shields, which is fine. As long as you're paying attention, and if you're salvaging the site, you're going to be paying attention. Right? The only time you want to rely on the alarm at 50% is if you're not paying attention, like you're watching a movie or you're doing something else. You just have the local open and the and you know whatever else open, so you can see the carrier when it spawns. That's perfectly fine too. That's what I do. So, and you know what? Newts can come in the system. Anything can come in the system. The carrier can spawn, and I'll notice it within 5 seconds. If the nuke comes in, he's either gonna die or I'm gonna warp off, one or the other. Can't fight this thing. Not in the ship that can scan you down and find you in 5 seconds anyway. This thing is like, it just destroys frigates. All right, if a frigate comes in, you've got a light fighter and you've got 2 mediums. The mediums can hit frigates if they're moving at like 1,000, 1,500. Okay, and the geckos periodically will hit the frigate too. So that frigate will be off the field in no time, and you can warp off. If he comes in with a group, it's the only time you'd ever have to be worried. But still, I mean, if you're paying attention to your local, you should be off the field in 5 seconds. Nothing's gonna catch you. The carrier won't catch you. You got 30 seconds with the carrier. If a player comes in the site, right? You've got 5 seconds as soon as you see him in the site before he gets out of warp. Right? So you can see him in the overview for 5 seconds before he can lock you up. Or, 5 seconds between the warp's time and the dilation for him to lock you up. So, you're not going to get caught. Alright? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how expensive the ship is. It's not going to die. That's the biggest thing. The ship is safe. Alright? Trust me, I fly this thing in the worst space possible. Alright? In the middle of like an IM sector. Right? It's where the newts go through all the time. And they hunt 10 out of 10 people. These are like the best hunters in the game. Alright? Wormhole space people. And they've never caught me. I've never been killed in this ship. Right? I've never been killed in an Ishtar. Even the poorly fit one that I started off with. By PvPers. Ever. Okay? So, don't worry about it. You're perfectly safe. So anyway, without further ado, let's go out and clear a site. Right? It should take me about 20 minutes. So I think it took me, 10-15 minutes to explain this because that bug earlier where it wouldn't let me load up the 10 out of 10. Oh, also, I forgot to point this out, but if you're doing 10 out of 10s with this, you want to take 2 of these salvagers off the top slots and switch that out for 2 Tech 1 drone augmented, or yeah, what are they called here? Set filter. Yeah, so you want to switch the top slots out for 2 of these drone lake augmenters Tech 1s, and that'll give you 104 depending on your skill level. Me, it gives me 104 because I don't have maxed out Ishtar skill levels. But if you have maxed out Ishtar skill levels, I think it gives you like 120 or something like that for drone range. So that's really good when you're going up against the drone hive defenders or anything that, aggroes you out at like 80 kilometers. 88 kilometers I've had them out to before. Like, just ridiculous. So yeah, it just helps you close the distance between them with your drones and kill them, so you don't have to actually fly up to them. A benefit of running 10 out of 10s with this ship here is, well, it's not the cost, because it's expensive, but it's cheaper than the Rattlesnake. If you use the shortcut, you can clear 10 out of 10 in about an hour and a half. I haven't tested it with the new fit So I'm thinking it might be able to cut the time in half, because usually I have to warp out and then warp back in once on the room that has all the cruisers and frigates, because they just take too much aggro. But aside from that, you should be good. Alright, so here we go. We're going to jump out to a horde. So I'll show you guys how much ISK you'll be clearing every 20 minutes, right? That's a tick, yeah, 20 minutes. So we'll do that. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna put some music on. So let's go ahead, boop, boop, boom, boom, boom. Okay, open up a new YouTube channel. See what we're gonna listen to today. No, don't want to go to studio. I want to go to regular YouTube, please. Thank you. Important. All emails. Yeah. Okay. Oh, my bad. It's a shitty horde anyway. Let's go to another horde here.
Warp drive active.
Alright, so I'll find you guys like a decent horde. These ones don't pay out as much. You'll probably get like 22, 21 mil ticks on these sites. The other sites will get like 24, 25 mil ticks. Pretty much the entire site in 20 minutes. Depending on how bad they yellow box you, which shouldn't be that bad. Oh, for fuck's sakes, come on, give me a good site. Okay, next site.
Warp drive active.
Come on, baby, roll the dice. Let's do this. Okay, anyway, YouTube. Gamer mix? Sure. Alright, so you see that? Alright, so what I did is, as soon as I got to the site, right, you go to these center structures here. You orbit that, or whatever the center structure is in your site, unless it's a haven or something, then you want to orbit it out at like 30k. But with the drone sites here, ooh, I just got 10,000 skill points, nice. Yeah, so with these sites here that we have in drone space, they're called hordes. You want to go around that at 10k, right? Or 5k, I do 5k. If your skills are low, you want to do 10k, because that'll increase the speed and you'll get hit a lot less. If your skills are almost maxed out like mine, you just do 5k, you're fine. You can even do 2.5, but you'll be going into around 50% shield. So yeah, 5k keeps you around 60-50%, between 60 and 50, and that's perfectly fine. So that's great. Okay, and then you just launch your drones. You know, turn your prop mod on. You should have your EM on before you get into the site, so you don't have to click that. But I mean, whatever. Yeah, and then you just kind of sit here and go watch a movie or something. So let's listen to some music.
closing doors. Been here before, not again. We cannot hide our nasty scars. Too many sorries. What would happen now if you say you won't know if you walk away? Only heaven will play our song now before you go. Can you tell me where the hope has gone? Can you tell me where the love went wrong? Do you remember what it sounds like? We can turn the lights back on. We can turn the lights back on.
Yeah, so you can see here we're getting at 56, 55. I think 54 it dipped down to, but that's fine. That's only because there's like a shit ton of cruisers and battle cruisers on the field right now.
On my own, but I don't know why you hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back.
This is a good song.
I don't know why she told me it's not your fault, but you don't realize that I never want to watch the truth in your eyes. There's a light that makes me blush. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back.
There's just so much left to say. Wanna get to know you in every kind of way. But you speak it in tongues. You take the breath from my lungs. It should be shaking in fear, but instead I just want you here. Scream
tug of war, battling to keep my sanity. Say no more, say no more. I love you, but I can't keep killing me. I look at myself, I wonder why you don't recognize who you traumatize me. Now what do I do? Pick up the pieces and go. I've adored the time I had lived in this fantasy. I'm looking for a way to better me, a remedy. I look at myself, so what do I you recognize who traumatized me? Now what do I do? Pick up the pieces and go. When we had that feeling, the stars were our ceiling, past the edge of town, 'cause we had nothing else to do. Dreaming in full color, loving like no other. No wasted days when I was wasting them with you. I was wasting them when you were showing me, showing me, showing me fake love that I couldn't see wasn't true. Left me with these memories, memories, memories. Now I'm missing somebody I knew, and I know it wasn't you. Why'd you have to fool me like that? Caught me into, and tell me that you love me, keep me dancing. Whisper that you want me so bad. Got me thinking we can last forever. I believe you, you're gone. Why'd you have to fool me like fool me like that? Going around in circles, tripping over hurdles, looking for the answer in the spots we used to go to. Now it's all but over, every breath is colder. Look over my shoulder, now I see what I fell into. Now I see you were showing me, showing me, showing me fake love that I couldn't see wasn't true. Left me with these memories, memories, memories. Now I'm missing somebody I knew, and I know it wasn't you. Why'd you have to fool me like that? Caught me into, but tell me that you love me, keep me guessing. Whisper that you want me so bad. Got me thinking we can last forever. I believe you, you're gone. Why'd you have to fool me like fool me like that? Why'd you have to fool me like that?
Okay, so just a quick recap of what I went over earlier, in case you missed it at the beginning of the video or something. There's a couple things I want to add. So, for the fit, you want medium core defense field purgers. Alright, so I'll throw this over here. In your rig slots, medium core defense field purgers, right? Tech 2. In the top slots, you want Salvager 1s. In the mid slots, you want EM Ward 2. You want Republic Fleet large shield extenders. Now, you can probably get the other shield extenders, but I find these are the most cost effective. They're cheapest, they do the same thing as the other ones. You want your core C-type 100 MN afterburner, right, to give yourself that extra 50 to 150 meters per second. Then you want your Sentient drone damage amplifiers to bump your drone damage as close to 900 as possible. And you want your damage control 2 to give you that extra tank and buffer. You want your Sentient omnidirectional tracking enhancer, or the best one that you can get in your space, in order to allow you to hit the frigates, right? You want to be able to hit those frigates. And yeah, so a couple things I didn't go over with you earlier. The drones, right? So why I selected these drones specifically. Now, the augmented for drone space are really good because they do a mixture of thermal and EM damage, right? So altogether, they do more DPS than the regular drones because their amplification for damage is also higher. Their movement speed, I think, is higher, like their velocity, as well as they have more health, right? More HP. So if you do happen to get the glitch where they target your drones, like you saw at the beginning of the video here, they're targeting, I think, one of my infiltrators or something. I didn't have to worry about it because they were moving too fast and they had too much HP for them to do anything. And it's a glitch. It's like it'll only be one rat that'll be targeting your drones or something like that. And once that rat's dead, they stop targeting. Anyway. Another trick is to set it to aggressive, but not force fire, right? You want force fire checked off, so that they split up. Because what happens is the geckos will kill the battleships, and the everything else, like the infiltrators and the oculites, will go after the small stuffs, like the frigates, the cruisers, and all that. So you don't have to worry about being bogged down by frigates that have webifiers and scrams, because they'll be picked off by the little drones that you have out, right? And it'll also put up the efficiency. So now let's see how much of a tick we got here. So go here. Transactions. 19. Okay, well that's pretty low. Usually it's a lot higher than that. I don't know if this is for this site or if this is for a site that I did earlier. Let's see, what time is it here? 18, 21. Okay, I must have killed something earlier because, yeah, usually it's around 23, 24, right? So you'll see here I got 23, 870. So unfortunately this one was only about, 19.3, so it's not very good. Another one here, 21.5. Let's see. Some of these, yeah. So we got, yeah. So this is what I was getting, right? This is the high mark. So 22, we got 22 here, 25, 25. These are all bounties. This is the only ship I rat with. So another 20, 21. Right, so you'll average, I'd say 21. Okay, so 21 mil. You'll get high spikes of 25 here and there. Definitely depends on how they spawn and whether you get yellow box or not. I don't think I got yellow box in this site, but I wasn't really paying attention too much. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and recall my drones. Everything should be dead. And
I do think that there's a non-human.
I didn't get a Sentient, unfortunately. Sometimes you get a Sentient spawn here, 10 out of 10. Those are nice. I like to run 10 out of 10s from Ishtar. I obviously use the shortcut with the hacker chip, and I run myself about 400 mil when I do those in an hour and a half. So definitely, probably one of the most profitable things you can do in the game. It's one of the safer things to do. There are people that hunt people specifically doing 10 out of 10s, but those hunters, they're looking for people in easy to catch ships like rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes will usually cloak up, and what they'll do is they'll like pinpoint you in a straight line, so they'll predict where you're gonna be. And if you leave the computer or something and you're not paying attention, or even if you are paying attention, they'll just cloak through the gates and they'll track you down even though you're cloaked, because they'll just pinpoint where you're flying, and then they'll just fly towards you and decloak you. So if you do run a rattlesnake in the 10 out of 10 site, you want to cloak and then immediately go 90 degrees in some random direction, because that way they'll be flying, in a straight line trying to find you, thinking that you just cloaked and then left the computer, or just cloaked and kept going straight. Meanwhile, you're flying in, completely opposite direction or something, right? You just fuck with them, and they'll waste a good 15-20 minutes of their time, because they're gonna be like, where the hell is this guy? Come on, I'm gonna catch him. And nothing. Just blue ball the shit out of them. Yeah, so yeah, when you cloak, go 90 whatever direction, and nobody will catch you. If you're in a rattlesnake or a T3, you do it in the T3 as well. They like to catch T3s because people get really confident in T3s. They think they can get away even if somebody comes in a system where they can kill them. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's the guy's in a really tanky ship that can just hold you there until his buddies that are in the system next door can fly in. He doesn't necessarily have to put down a Sino, okay? Don't think you're safe. But anyway, this is not a 10 out of 10 video. I'm just giving you these tidbits. But yeah, so definitely watch out for that if you're doing 10 out of 10 sites. But as far as this Ishtar goes for clearing hordes, easy as hell. You seen I didn't dip down below 50%. So the 50% alarm will warn you if there's anything big in the system, like a carrier that spawns. Or if you're in Garissa space, it'll be a dreadnought. If you're in, whatever other space, it's either a carrier or dreadnought. So just be aware that when those do show up on the field, you have to be at the computer. In order to save yourself, you get 20 seconds to get off the field, right? You want to recall your drones because, like I said, you've got a lot of augmented and geckos, right? Now you can use the geckos in any space, no matter where you are. But the augmented drones, you definitely want to use 1 light and 2 mediums of whatever you use primarily in your space. So like Garissa space, it'll be like Vipers or whatever. Starts with a V. Pretty sure for the mediums.
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, so whatever like light and mediums, augmented, right? You always want to use augmented because everything's weak to thermal. So if a player comes in and happens to catch you, you can fight him off. And then whatever the other damage is. So it's a split 50-50. Plus, you want that extra velocity and tank to keep them alive if you do get a glitch where they target one of your drones. But anyway, that's it for today, and hope you guys fly safe. Sorry about the mix-up at the beginning of the video and that glitch that I ran into. I'm still wondering what the hell happened. But I'm hoping it was a bug and not a feature of the game where you just cannot simulate that anymore, because that's fucking bullshit. And CCP likes to fuck shit up every chance you get. You buy a Rorqual, they nerf it. You buy a fucking super, guess what? They nerf it. They just wait until you buy it, right? And then they nerf the shit out of it. Why don't you nerf fucking PvP ships? Like Triglavians. Why don't you nerf the shit out of them? Like, come on. But, because, Rorquals are OP, man. Yeah, okay. That's why we always die. That's why we always die. It's not the frigates. The frigates never die. But come on. What's OP? But anyway, yeah, let's not nerf the bombers and Black Ops battleships. Let's not do that, because goons will fucking flip and they have the power to destroy the game, so let's not piss them off, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm not crazy. So that's it. That's all, folks.